Hello everybody, Terry back again another video. Alright guys, 128 players we had when this US Open started 1 week ago. We have 16 left man standing. So what are my thoughts after the first week at US Open 2023? Who has looked the best? Who is the man to beat? Etc, etc. First of all, 6 out of my 8 top favorite players I had when this tournament started are still left in the draw, which are Djokovic, Alcaraz, Medvedev, Rublev, Zverev and Fritz. So those 6 are still left in the draw from my top 8 favorite list. The only 2 that has been eliminated is Casper Ruud, who lost in the second round, and Holger Rune, who lost in the first round. Actually, we had 6 players who was eliminated before the third round from top 20 players in the world, because I said 5 the other day, I actually forgot one, who also is a top 20 player. He is the 15, he's in the 15 in the world ranking, which the player I'm talking about is Felix Aliassime, who lost in the first round against McDonald. The other players are Hubert Hurkacz, who is number 17th in the world, who lost in the second round, and the other is Lorenzo Musetti, who is number 18 in the world, who lost in the first round. Those were the players who are in the top 20 in the world ranking. Then we have 3 players who are in top 10 in the world ranking, which is Casper Ruud, who is top 10 in the world, Holger Rune, who is top 10 in the world, and Stefanos Tsitsipas, who is top 10 in the world. Casper lost in the second round, like I said in the beginning of the video. Holger Rune lost in the first round, like I said in the beginning of the video. And Stefanos Tsitsipas lost in the second round. So, all in all, 6 players from top 20, world ranking has lost before the third round. Alright. The other who are left are still left in the draw. Like I said, 6 out of from my 8 top favorites are left. Let's see if all those 6 will go to the quarterfinal, which I predicted 1 week ago. Let's talk a little about those 6 guys. Alcaraz. Let's talk about Alcaraz in the end, because I want to say some words about him. Let's talk about Fritz, who has looked pretty good. I don't think he has lost one single set. Taylor Fritz in his first 3 matches, now he's in the 4th round. Another player, Rublev, who has looked solid. He was a little lucky in the first round, where he didn't need to face Ruusuvuori, who would have been a tough opponent for him because he lost against Ruusuvuori just a couple of weeks ago before the US Open. But he never needed to face him. He instead, because Ruusuvuori he withdrew due to injury, so he faced instead a lucky loser, where Rublev didn't have any troubles defeating that lucky loser. He defeated him in straight sets. And he has won 3 matches. He has lost some set here and there, Rublev, but all in all, he has looked solid. Alright, that was Rublev. Then we have the very high anticipated match between Sinner and Zverev. This is this is probably the most high anticipated 4th round match. Not maybe, it is the most anticipated, the most hyped 4th round match between Sinner and Zverev. 3-1 the head-to-head is to Zverev. And when I did my preview 1 week ago, it was extremely difficult for me who of these 2 I would pick to go to the quarterfinal. Zverev or Sinner. and I've read a lot of social medias, and some it is, I feel like it is 50-50. No, it is 60 in favor for Sinner, 40 in favor for Zverev. It feels to me that many people, tennis people around the world, are giving the slightest edge to Sinner, which I can understand. We all know Sinner is a up-and-coming future superstar, Sinner who just won his first ever Master 1000 title in Toronto a couple of weeks ago. So, but me personally, I have Zverev winning this battle, but I'm not sure. I'm definitely not sure. Even though this head-to-head is 3-1 to Zverev against Sinner, and Zverev has looked solid. He has dropped some sets here and there. Sinner, he went through against Stan Wawrinka in 4 sets. So it is more or less, the match can go either way, really. It is not easy predicting that one. I don't know, I feel that Zverev he has the slightest edge. That's my feeling. But look, whoever wins that match, neither of us will be surprised. Neither of us. I just feel that Zverev, he has a bigger serve than Sinner. But Sinner plays closer to the baseline. Sinner hugs the baseline. Sinner maybe hits the ball harder, but Zverev hits the ball pretty hard as well. So it feels like Zverev matches up good with Sinner. So Zverev had a tough match with Dimitrov, even though he won in 4 sets. The third and fourth set was breakstick sets for Zverev, 6-1, 6-1. But he lost the first one against Dimitrov 7-6, and he actually forced to save 1 set point against Dimitrov Zverev in the second set in a tiebreak. So Zverev could have easily been 2 sets to love down against Dimitrov. But it never happened. Zverev won that second set tiebreak, and then after that, Zverev never looked back. So let's see. That is the most anticipated, that is the most hyped match, according to me. It is a toss-up. Who wins that 4th round match between Zverev and Sinner? Let's see what happens. All right. There we have Fritz. I talked about him. I talked about Rublev. I talked about this very anticipated hyped match between Zverev and Sinner. So there we have 3 players that are left from my top 8 favorite list. Fritz, Rublev, Zverev. Who are the other 3? Of course, Medvedev. We should never forget him. The former US Open champion from 2021. The player who crushed Novak Djokovic. Biggest dream, not biggest dream, but his biggest match of his career, because we all can agree that Novak Djokovic match against Medvedev in that 2021 US Open final was Novak's biggest match in his career, and Medvedev crashed that party when he defeated him. Medvedev has looked solid. He also has dropped some sets. He has not won all his matches in straights. He lost his first set, I believe, in his last match, in his 3rd round match. He has been looking solid. He has never been close of losing. So I predicted him to go to the semi-final, and Medvedev and Rublev are 1 match away from facing each other in the quarterfinal. I have actually predicted that those 2 will face each other in the quarters. Let's see if that becomes a reality or not. I'm not concerned about Medvedev. Medvedev will face de Minaur in the 4th round. Yeah, de Minaur has defeated Medvedev before, but never in Grand Slams. Will I be shocked if de Minaur makes the upset? No, I will not be shocked. No, I will not even be surprised. Because we have seen Medvedev crashing out early in the slams. He did that in Australian Open this year in the 3rd round against Korda. He did that against. He lost in the 1st round of French Open. Medvedev's deepest run in majors this year was at Wimbledon when he did the semi-final run and lost to Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets. So it is not any given thing Medvedev making deep runs at majors. Absolutely not. So, and Dimonau is coming in with great shape of form. He has played some really good tennis the last couple of weeks and months. But I favor Medvedev in that matchup. And then we have Rublev against Jack Draper. Alright, we all know Jack Draper is a dangerous player with big serve, big forehand, decent backhand. But he doesn't hit the ball murderous hard. Jack Draper, he lacks little firepower, and that maybe he will be punished against Rublev, because Rublev is a great mover. Rublev has a huge forehand, pretty good first serve. Rublev's weaknesses are his second serve and his returns, according to me. And he doesn't have any variation in his game. He's a one-dimensional player on Rublev. And let's see if Jack Draper can expose that. Jack Draper, who defeated Hurkacz in the second round in straight sets, which was a little surprising. Not that Hurkacz lost, because I talked about Hurkacz before. Many tennis analysts around the world are high on Hurkacz. I'm not one of them. I'm not high on him. He doesn't perform good in Australian Open, French Open, and US Open. He only performs good at Wimbledon and in best of 3 sets matches. It is only there where Hurkacz performs good. And if he continues to have this kind of horrible returns, he will not be successful in Grand Slams, Hurkacz. The returns are one of the most important shots in tennis. You don't have any good returns, you will not make deep runs in big tournaments in tennis. You will not. Yeah, the serve is important. According to me, the returns are maybe more important than the serve. You need to be able to take your teeth into your opponent's serving games. If you don't do that, the best thing you can do is taking the sets to a tiebreak, because you have a great serve, like Hurkacz has, and then in the tiebreak you will do some bad returns. Your opponent will return a little better than you, and you will lose those tiebreaks. So making good returns are extremely important. Just ask Isner Karlovic, one of the best servers of all time. They had horrible returns. So that's why I'm not high on Hurkacz, and at least not as long as he has horrible returns. But I didn't expect him to lose his straight sets. I will be honest with you, my tennis friends all around the world. I will not sit here and lie. So Jack Draper, he took him out, Hurkacz, in the second round in straight sets. So now Jack Draper, he won the third round match as well. So now Jack Draper will face Andre Rublev in the fourth round. I favor Andre Rublev, of the reasons I said. He has more firepower than Jack Draper. He moves better than Jack Draper, I believe. He just hits the ball harder than Jack Draper. And in this slow conditions, because I am not feeling that this year's US Open is super fast, I think that Rublev can hit through Jack Draper easier than what the case will be vice versa. But I'm not sure in Rublev. Absolutely not. The only two players I am really confident in, and the only two players I will be shocked if they lose in the fourth round. You know who those players are. I'm not talked about them yet. And those players are Djokovic and Alcaraz. These two players are the guys to beat at this year's US Open. Djokovic, we all know he had a tough battle in the third round against his countryman Laslo Djere, where he was 2 sets to love down. But the warrior, the gladiator, the fighter that Djokovic is, the never-giving attitude that he has, he turned that match around and won that in the end in 5 sets. But Djokovic, even though he got a really run for his money in the third round, he still is one of 2 players to beat in this year's US Open together with Alcaraz. He will now face Goya, qualifier for Croatia for the first time. I don't think they ever faced each other, if I'm not mistaken. The the player that actually has not dropped one single set, Goyo. Goyo, one of few players who has not dropped one single set. We have a couple of them who has not dropped one single set. Goyo is one of them. Of these 16 players that are left. And he has not even dropped his serve yet. But now he will face the greatest servant of all time. If he has not dropped his serve in 3 matches, I believe that he definitely will drop his serve for the first time in this year's US Open against Djokovic. But I have Djokovic coming through that match. He's the big favorite there. So even though he got a hella run for his money against Jerry, you got to have Djokovic as the favorite against Goya. You just got to have it. But Djokovic is human, even though we sometimes seem to forget that. I'm one of them. If he gets upset, will I get shocked? No, I will not get shocked. Shocked is a huge word. Will I get surprised? Yes, I will get surprised. You never know when you face a player for the first time, and I have never actually seen Goya play tennis. I cannot say anything about him. Never seen the dude. That's the thing with these Grand Slams. The draw is huge, 128 players. We will get some players like him, Goyo, who will make good deep runs like he's doing. He's making his deepest run ever in a Grand Slam tournament, Goyo. And that's a player that we have never seen before. A player that I have actually never heard before. So I know how he plays. But I know how Djokovic plays, so I will favor Djokovic there. And then, last but not least, Carlos Alcaraz. My number 1 player in my top 8 favorite list. Who is through to the 4th round. And he will face... I forgot who will face there. But he's the 4th round. He has been really good. For me, Carlos Alcaraz, he has been looking the best of all these 16 players. Even though he dropped his first set against Dan Evans. But Dan Evans was coming into this US Open with great form. He won just recently a tournament at Washington. And he didn't play any bad tennis, Dan Evans, in the 3rd round. My God, he didn't play bad tennis. 28 winners, 24 unforced errors, 4 more winners and unforced errors. But my dear God, what kind of a shot-making show Carlos Alcaraz showed. 61 winners, only 23 unforced errors. 38 more winners than unforced errors he did against Dan Evans. He showed the entire arsenal. He attacked the net many times, was 79 successful at the net. He has such great variation in his game, Carlos Alcaraz. He has such great shot-making skills. He hits the ball so huge. He can hit through these slow conditions. He returns good. He has a decent serve, not superior, but decent. He moves lightning fast. He attacks. He's great from the net. He has great slice, great backhand, unbelievable forehand. Dan Evans didn't even play bad. He didn't even play bad, but didn't matter. Didn't matter. Carlos Alcaraz is the man to beat. He is the man to beat. Some of you seems to believe that Carlos Alcaraz is underrated, is overrated. No, he's not overrated. He is not overrated. He's 20 freaking years old, and he has already won 2 Grand Slam titles. How many dudes have done that in the past in tennis history? Not many. Federer didn't win 2 Grand Slam titles when he was 20 years old. Djokovic didn't win 2 Grand Slam titles when he was 20 years old. Nadal won 2 Grand Slam titles when he was 20 years old. But it was the same Grand Slam title, which was French Open. He didn't win 2 Grand Slam titles, 2 different Grand Slam titles as 20 years old, Rafa Nadal. Carlos Alcaraz has done that. He has won US Open as 19 years old. He has won Wimbledon as 20 years old. Carlos Alcaraz is looking really good. For me, Carlos Alcaraz is the player who has looked the best so far after 1 week at US Open. Will all these 6 players that are left from my top 8 favorite list progress to the quarterfinal? Most likely not. I have predicted for them to do that, but some of these 6 will lose. The only 2 players I'm super confident that they will win their matches is Alcaraz and Djokovic. All the other 5, and to some degree, I'm pretty confident in medals as well. Not superior confident like I am in Djokovic and Alcaraz, but pretty confident. The other four, the other three, Fritz, Rublev, and Zverev, definitely not super confident that those three will win their matches. Definitely not super confident. Especially not Zverev. The Zverev-Sinner match is a toss-up. But let's see, guys, how these 16 fourth round matches will unfold. I can't wait to see them go into action and start. And let's see. I'm super excited. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.